Hey guys and dolls, it's your friendly neighborhood DragynAlly talking about the spring fever food and wine tasting. I keep calling it a festival, but it's a festival to me. There were over 22 wineries there, and it was probably some of the best times I've had in a while. I said the same thing about the beer fest. I like festivals that include drinking. That sounds terrible. Anywho, it was an opportunity for me to sort of shake hands and get to meet a lot of the wineries in New Jersey. As you guys know, I'm a Jersey girl, born and raised, so it's very important to me to reach out to my home state and see what they're up to when it comes to wine and wine innovation. And I will say, what I love about it is that New Jersey wine seems to be all over the map. There are wines that are sweet and fruity and fun, and then there's wines that are richer, deeper flavors, drier wines, wines that you can even compete on a global scale, and so it's very impressive. We are apparently the fifth when it comes to grape growing in the country, so that's actually really impressive, and it's making a name for itself. The Garden State Wine Growers Association has gotten together a list of wineries that do all New Jersey grapes and that do all or mostly. I'll have to look up the specific requirements again, but it's a great thing, and I think it's really good for the state, and I think it's really good to see what New Jersey's capable of, in terms of their wine creation. I tried several wines, but the main point for me was just seeing it and being at the event. What was really cool about the event is that they had tables set up, for food, and it was like antipasta. Different meats and cheeses you can try, different salads, roasted vegetables, stuff like that. But then they had different tables for each winery, and each winery brought something new to the table, and it was like a lot of fun. As those of you who follow me on Instagram, I'm at DragynAlly on there too. You saw all the pictures I was taking of the different wines I was trying, and it was from the very sweet, almost juice-like, to the very dry. I had a few favorites, but I don't want to pick favorites just yet. I want to get in contact with, well, one of my goals is to go to every winery on this list and every winery associated with the Garden State Wine Growers Association. I want to see them in person, because it's one thing to go to an event like this and have 22 wineries, each holding about at least 5, if not up to like 20 bottles of their own wine. So like you're dealing with trying all these different flavors all at once. And so it's a real good idea to get like a grasp of what wineries you like and stuff like that. But I don't think you get a true, I want to use the word flavor for what the winery is like. And I really want to be there, see what the winery's like I did with Plagido. As you guys read the review and read me mess up Teresa's name, may she forgive me one day. Um, where, like I did with Plagido's winery, where I went there and I got to see what it was like and how cute it was and how their atmosphere is and what their tasting is like and different things like that. You get a different feel. And so going to an event like this sort of gives you an overview, which is wonderful. I think if you ever get a chance to go to a wine festival or a wine tasting, do it. Um, what I loved, and I don't think a lot of people realize, I think, a lot of people think wine tasting, and they think these hoity-toity things where you sip the wine and you swish it and you spit. I don't think anyone does that because, one, it's gross, and two, that's a waste of good wine. Um, but you get little sample tastings of the wine, and you see what you like, and even I, who am an avid sweet drinker, was like, well, let me taste your dry wines. And I was tasting different dry wines, and they had such rich flavors and different, I want to almost use the word texture, but what I mean is like some tasted heavier than others, some tasted lighter. Some had more fruity flavors, some you could really taste how they were made in oak barrels, and so you get different sort of spectrum. You get a spectrum of what wine is capable of, and this is just wine in New Jersey, so you can only imagine if you went to like a wine tasting on a global scale or something like that. Um, I tried as many wines as I could within reason and handed out my business card to a bunch of people. So I'm hoping to make those connections and try to see what I can do. I would love to feature a different winery each week and see what happens. Um, I'm trying to think what else I wanted to tell you, because as I said, I'm trying not to pick favorites. It was a lovely event. It was held in a There's a name for it. Hold on. Catering, Branches Catering. Wow, brain. Anywho, and it was set up really lovely. There was indoor and outdoor, and you got each room held about 4 or 5 wineries, and there were 3 rooms worth of wineries, and then there was outdoors, 3 or 4 rooms. I think I lost count. Wow. Um, you got to walk around, and you just got to stroll and taste, and what was great is you really did have people who were very informed on their wines. Like if you went up and you were like, I drink sweet wines, that's all I drink, that's all I want to drink, they would help you out and tell you which ones were their sweetest. Also, I did not know this, you want to try wines from driest to sweetest. Yeah, because if you taste the sweet wines, you can't really taste the dry ones anymore. I didn't know that, and so you learn that. Um, you get different flavors, and you get different, actually different areas of New Jersey and different types of grapes in New Jersey. And it's cool because like they all have paperwork about their events, and really during the spring, later in the summer, the fall is a great time for New Jersey wine events, and like they're holding their music festivals in the winery, and you can come, they're like, come to our winery, bring a picnic basket, hang out with us for a while. And I think those are really cool ideas. They want you to come actually check out their winery and see what it's like. What was funny is I live in extreme South Jersey, and New Jersey is probably a 4 hour trek from tip to tip. And there were a lot of wineries where were like, oh, well, you're way down south, you'll never visit us. So it'll be fun when I show up at their doorstep, because I will. Um, what other things did it have? You got to keep your tasting glass, and it had, the Garden State Wine Growers Association scrawled on it, so it's cool, it's a souvenir. Um, the food was really good, as I mentioned before, antipasta. Nothing really heavy on the stomach, nothing like, this isn't a burger and fries occasion. Um, and nothing that detracted from the flavor of the wine. That can always sometimes be a problem when you go to a tasting and like you're tasting, really heavy garlic and you can't taste the wine anymore. No, it was very, very balanced. As I said, I'm trying not to pick favorites, so like I don't want to go into the wines that like, ooh, I remember this one best. And I also want to give them each like a chance to show themselves off in their own arena. You know what I mean? It's nice when you can bring two, I say 2 or 3. I'm telling you, they had like 10 bottles. Anyway, bring a couple bottles for people to try, but it's a whole other thing when you actually go to the winery. You see what it's like, you see how the process works. You get to see, get the flavor for the winery, as I keep saying. It could be a small hometown winery, it could be a big operation, it could have its own catering. So it's nice to sort of see what each one is capable of and what they do and what kind of wines they create, what they think their wine mission is. And so I'll be very excited to go to each of them, because I will, whether I'm invited or I invite myself, and tell you all about them. And oh, I want to give a quick shout out again to Plagidos, who I got to meet at the event. They are so sweet and so nice. And yes, I am picking a favorite there, but I've already visited them, so I'm kind of biased. Anywho, thank you so much, guys and dolls. I will talk to you later. Bye.